Oh, hello. I don't recognize your face. Strangers are somewhat scarce in a village like this one. Good day. I am Anchor Edmure, scholar and novice sagecrafter. Of course, I may not be a novice much longer. Not after the Scholia Arcana reads my latest discoveries. Very few have noticed, but the temperature around the Forsaken Plain is dropping. It's so slight that you wouldn't even feel the chill unless you knew to expect it. I don't know the cause of this phenomenon, but I'm sure whatever it is will grow. For many years, uneventfully so. But recent events have led me to believe that my time here is all part of a greater destiny. You see, my apprentice Donald and I have noticed strange weather patterns that occur only in the Forsaken Plain. I don't have answers yet, but we will. I follow the strains of magic to this spot, across fields and forests and over sea and stone. There's a great power resting beneath them air. It's ancient, wild. They are the supreme authorities on magic, and for years I have petitioned them for membership. Unfortunately, they have yet to recognize my scholarship. Goodbye.
Just give me a straight answer. Is the General still in the cradle of summer?
She is for as much good as it'll do her. But the cards don't lie. She'll never get that door open. Fate says it's so.
Yes. Well, then I suppose we'll just have to change fate, won't we? Thank you for coming all this way. I don't know if you heard that, but it sounds as if General Talera is still here in exile. For all but losing the fortress of Melsenshire. Long ago, Talera led our forces, but then the Tuatha produced a foe she could not best. Her forces barely survived the retreat out of Cluracan. Many blamed her for the loss, to have built up hopes so high, only to have them topple. That was Talera's crime, and she has paid for it, day after day. You're as quick as ever. Talera is in the cradle of summer, banished from the battlefields of Melsenshire until she can atone for her past. According to the Fate Weaver here, she seeks an artifact from Ural Tusk that might break the siege and aid our forces. But she cannot do so alone, for poor Talera is fated never to succeed. That is where you can help. Last I heard, General Talera was somewhere in northern Erethel, searching for a way to turn the tide of the war. I think she took a squad to Uraltusk. For a long time, they were content to keep to their play of the summer and winter courts. Now we fight Gadflow and the Tuatha for our very existence. In a hidden valley, northwest of the plains of Erethel, the ruins of Uraltusk lie undisturbed, as they have for many centuries. What Talera wants there is beyond me, but I trust her, even if it goes against my better judgment. A close friend once told me, strive to be whatever you want to be. Fate might be a lie, but if it isn't, then worrying about it won't change a thing. The gardens of Isa, home of the Summer Fae, once spread from the forests of Dalentarth, across the plains of Erethel, and even through the deserts of Ditir. Between the madness of the war and the spread of man, Alfar, and Gnome, the Summer Fae lose a little more ground every day. A tragedy for them. You should be just what the General's looking for.
You resemble someone of authority. Two rogues, likely freemen, have stolen a precious item from me. Pay attention! And to think my taxes pay your salary. I am W. Mundus, owner of Oddities and Curios by W. Mundus. I have lived in their village for nearly 1 year. I detest it. And don't get me started on the Alpha. There were 2 of them, swarthy brutes, hairy, filthy. I shudder at the thought. The beasts ransacked my antiquities collection and stole several notable items. I am a gentleman, and if you can recover my amulet, I will make it worth your time and effort. I glimpsed them leaving through the back window as they made for the woods. Name your price. Well, perhaps that's not accurate, but you will win my favor. And they don't call me the richest man in Gorehot for my charming personality. Excellent. I will stay here, secure, and wait for your return. This village was once a bustling crossroads for traders and dealers in the arcane. However, in recent years, it has become a barren outpost for the ignorant. Disgusting, sweaty, pathetic things. Do not misunderstand me. I have sympathy for the wretched, but only if they're far from my doorstep. It was an impressive gem sold to me on the road to Haxi. Quite the curio. It is called the Eye of Aman, a magical token shaped by the Fae Aman the Clever. I've yet to research it thoroughly, but it is certainly valuable. One must keep an eye on every possession since the freemen began to terrorize the plain. Some dare to enter the village even with the militia outside. I've told you everything, fool. Farewell, stranger.
Isn't it a glorious day, as if Helios himself warms us with a smile? To what do I owe this courtesy? I only have a few moments to spare. The godstorm awaits my return, and it doesn't like to. Why, the Godstorm is the greatest event that our fragile world has ever witnessed. It was a battle, a conflict between Fae. They call it the Withering War. That's why I relocated to Emer to complete my book, the definitive work on the subject. The village is nice enough, quiet, although the new arrivals give me no peace. Sadly, I lack the last few resources needed to tell the full story. The works of the famous scribes Ewald, Dalston, Callas, and Wildfrold. Gone. I was so close. They are lost to the ages, I'm afraid. Minds such as Ewald and Callas are rare. I suspect that their works have been spread across the plains. It is a good place to find the piece I need to complete my work, although the refugees have certainly slowed progress. I am not one for the cacophony of any kind. I don't know how the Fae and the Cradle can stand having us so near. Our mortal din is far too distracting, even for me. I have never laid my gaze upon it. Such a thing would not be proper. I am a dustling, a child of death. The cradle of summer must not be sullied by my taint. It is not in the Fae's nature to fight. The summer and winter courts have existed in harmony since the beginning of time. Leave it to us mortals to ruin a good thing. 500 years ago, the Summer King Issa and the Winter Lord On broke from that pattern and fought a battle here, on this very plain. The land carries the scars. I was born in the city of Rathir, an orphan of the Wending. One day, I stumbled upon the Scholia Arcana library and I found new life in the ancient books. My advice to them would be to gain some perspective. Villages grow and burn. There is only one event that is worth our attention, and that is the Godstorm. Of course, I don't typically prefer the company of others. Take the leader of these refugees, for example. Master Elrod Edmund. Gruff, coarse, not a pleasantry in sight. Keep your eyes
What do
open.
you need? Please, make yourself comfortable. We don't see too many travelers in a mare these days. Not with that forest of tents growing out front. Relax and partake of what our small hamlet has to offer. This is the birthplace of alchemy in the Feylands. If you want to know more about our... Be well.
Need a hand?
Do you have it?
Stand back! The jail is closed to everyone but the militia. You had best stroll elsewhere. Refugees are everywhere around the village, and they'll snatch anything they can get their sticky fingers on. Honestly, I didn't even know this village existed. I couldn't point to it on a map. It could disappear tomorrow, and no one would even notice. You wouldn't believe who they've got back there. Real hardened criminals. I think. Most of them just look like refugees, but how can one really tell? I can't give you entrance. It goes against every code I've sworn to uphold. At least, I think it does. I was a scholar before the war, a teacher in the fine art and history of tapestries and painting, skills that have little use during wartime. I became a soldier for the coin. It was that or starve. A shifty lot, those vagabonds. I'm not a noble, but I've taught enough of them to know that their condescension is justified. Some people are just born to steal, to scrounge. They can't help it. It's in their nature, like animals. Oh, this is sorrowful.